A well-designed walkway facilitates travel between important areas of your home. You'll want to consider the distance, elevation, amount of use it will receive, and the overall design and decor of your property. The Home Depot has a wide range of materials from which to choose, and building a paver walkway is a project most homeowners can do themselves. To begin, use 2 long pieces of rope to lay out the course of your walkway. If space isn't an issue, 35 to 40 inches wide will allow 2 people to walk comfortably side by side. Use a tape measure to check the width of your path and adjust accordingly. Once you've got the correct dimensions, mark along the entire perimeter with a shovel. In building your walkway, it's a good idea to do it in sections. This helps you plan for changes in elevation. Starting with the first section, remove all of the sod, rocks, and dirt down to a depth of about 7 inches. Using a hand tamper, compact the soil throughout the section. Your goal is a firm, even surface. A layer of crushed gravel provides a stable base on which to build your walkway. Pour it out at least 2 to 3 inches thick over the compacted ground and use a metal rake to spread it around evenly. Wet down the gravel with a hose and compress it thoroughly using the hand tamper. Add more crushed gravel as needed and tamp it down until the gravel base is slightly below grade. Next, you'll need to add a layer of paver sand approximately 1/2 inch thick across the entire section. Use a finishing trowel to smooth out the surface. After spraying the sand with a fine mist, you can begin laying pavers. We're going to create a simple running bond pattern using half blocks to begin each alternating row. The running bond pattern staggers the joints and allows you to make slight adjustments when needed to create a nice, gentle curve. As a general rule, steps should be built approximately 7 inches high and installed at regular intervals to minimize tripping. When it's time to create a step, dig back into the slope about 10 inches. Fill in with crushed gravel up to the level of your base, wet it, and use a wall block to tamp it down. Now lay the 10.5 by 7 inch wall blocks side by side in the trench up against the walkway. Check with a level and add sand if needed to keep everything in line. Now dry fit a second row of blocks using different sizes to stagger the joints. Once you get the pattern worked out, go back and add beads of construction adhesive between the rows. Now you're ready to begin prepping the next section, adding a crushed gravel base to the compacted soil. Spread it around and wet it with a garden hose. Then compact it into a hard surface using the hand tamper. Finally, add a thin layer of paver sand. You'll want to make this base layer even with the top of the wall block you set previously. For the step treads, you'll use blocks that are the same thickness as your pavers. These are attached directly to the top of the wall block using construction adhesive. Then you'll continue with your pavers in the same pattern until you're ready for another step. To cut pavers, measure, mark, and use a concrete saw or a wet saw outfitted with a concrete blade. Make sure you wear safety glasses when working. Once all the pavers are laid, add paver edging to keep them from shifting. Another option is to use a brick trowel to trench along the outside and fill it with cement. Then cover with mulch or soil. Make sure there's no rain in the forecast and the surface is completely dry before proceeding to the final step on your new walkway. Pour a liberal amount of polymeric sand onto the walkway and sweep it into the cracks. The sand works as a binding agent, helping hold all of the pavers in place. When finished, carefully blow off any excess sand with a leaf blower. Finally, spray the walkway with a fine mist. The moisture activates the polymeric sand and binds the pavers. As a finishing touch, adding some landscaping and creative lighting will help turn your new walkway into a beautiful addition to your home.